Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Deluxe, the Infinity Gauntlet Thanos. I just got my order in from CMD Store, link in the video description below. I am not sure if they still have it in stock or not, but check them out down in the video description for that link. So here we have the Thanos figure looking amazing. We get 2 extra hands for the gauntlet themselves. The hand in the package actually is not part of the gauntlet, it's just his normal glove because there are no Infinity Gems in there or Infinity Stones. We have the King Thanos head sculpt there. The side artwork looks just absolutely amazing. It really reminds me of the Walmart exclusive Thanos figure, where just the packaging art really helped get that one to really stand out. That is still probably my favorite packaging art, and just overall presentation just looks absolutely amazing. So here it is no different. It is still very, very nice looking. Up at the top we get the Infinity Gems all there lined up and all glimmering, so it looks really nice. Here on the back of the package we get a look at Thanos sitting in his throne with Death by his side. That is some awesome artwork. At some point I'm sure Hasbro will release a Death figure. We shall see. Maybe there's a problem that parents aren't going to want it, so retail buyers aren't going to want that in the stores. Who knows? But I would imagine at some point, right, we got to get a Death figure. But the bio for Thanos reads, the Mad Titan Thanos seizes control of the hallowed Infinity Gauntlet and wields near omnipotent power. Who can stop this vicious new overlord? There it is. Let's get it opened up. Okay, and here is the Thanos figure out of the package, and he is very, very nice. So we're going to move him off to the side real quick, and let's talk about the insert, because we actually get his throne right there, which looks awesome. If only we had like a Riders Thanos figure that actually came with the throne. That would be pretty cool. Hasbro, if you are listening, I bet you already have something like that in the works. Maybe, but that would be pretty cool if we got something like the throne or something. You know, we're getting that MODOK coming. Maybe they could have done, you know, something big for this particular Thanos, like a $50 Thanos that comes with the throne. Don't do it now because we already got this $30 Thanos, but that would have been really cool. So I really like that. So we'll get that off to the side. But here we have the Thanos figure, and he just looks absolutely menacing. We have our accessories, so the 2 hand pieces. So in the package, he just has a fist for his left hand. I swapped it for the snap gauntlet piece already. Here we have the King Thanos head, so let's get a closer look at these accessories and then a closer look at Thanos. Okay, so here we have the King Thanos head, and I love the way it looks. The hair, the dark gray hair for his beard came out looking really good. They use like a gray color, and there is a bit of a wash in there to give it some texture. We get these brown bands in there. The skin tone looks really nice. We get some wash around the eyes, and we have those blue glowing eyes, and then it's just this metallic yellow plastic color for the crown piece and helmet. That just looks really, really nice. I really like that. And then again, here we have that Thanos snap finger for the gauntlet piece. So it's just the Infinity Gems actually onto his glove piece, and that just looks really good. Really like how that came out for the snap. And then the Infinity Stones gems are painted on there nicely, so I like that. And then here we just have that open gauntlet hand there, and again the Infinity Gems / stones are painted nicely on there. So that looks really good. So now let's take a closer look at Thanos. Okay, so here is an up-close look at the Thanos figure. Looking at the head sculpt, looks very good. I like the skin tone of the purple. The teeth were painted nicely. The tongue is a slightly different purple color. We get the blue eyes, and we get kind of a black color or darker purple color right around his eyes to kind of give it that bag look and just provide additional texture. Looks really really nice. The blue and gold of the paint on the head sculpt looks really good, as you can see there. No issues with mine. One thing, and I don't know how well it's going to come off on camera, is there's actually 2-tone of blue actually throughout the figure, and you can kind of see it a little bit here on the head sculpt, but we get a darker blue and then a lighter blue there. You can kind of see how they did the shading throughout the figure, so you can see it like on the front of the thighs here, as you have the darker blue for the legs. You see it in his chest, so you see like his pecs are that lighter blue, whereas his torso here is that darker blue. Here on his arms you can see the lighter blue a little bit with some of the darker blue. It's really noticeable, and you can't tell because of the armor shield piece, but you can kind of see the clear distinct line there between the 2 colors, and that's really only noticeable that on these shoulders where you could see it. On the other parts, it kind of goes with the muscle definition a little bit, so it's not as clear. But right there on the shoulders, you could really see it. But it's done in a very nice, subtle way. I like that the two colors are very similar, so it's not too distracting when you have it. Unlike the, you know, the blueberry Black Panther from years ago, which it was years ago. So, you know, I guess Hasbro kind of gets a pass for that a little bit. You guys let me know what you guys think on that. But the gold paint looks really nice. This armor piece is a plastic piece. It's a little pliable, but not a whole lot. But it is like glued down right in the front. You can kind of almost see kind of the square portion where it's going to be glued down. So you're not going to be able to remove it or anything unless you do that. And I'm sure it'll look funny on the figure. But it's also really not going to hinder the articulation, which we will look at soon. We have this like skirt type piece there, this belt. It is kind of a floating piece, so you're not going to really be able to get that to move around. And then we just get these gold boots down there that match the gloves. And there you go. There's the Thanos. Now let's zoom out for the articulation. Okay, so for Thanos, looking down is kind of a problem. He can't really do it. I can't see because his head is on that double dumbbell joint, so there's no hinge to it, so you get the more natural motion like when doing this type of thing. But looking down is really not going to happen. Looking up, he can actually look up somewhat, so that is pretty good that way, but the looking down is the problem. So you do get some pivot in there. You can get the shoulders to go up that high, basically straight out. You can do a full rotation, and again, that armor piece is really not going to get in the way. You have the upper bicep swivel there. You have a single jointed elbow and a swivel actually at the elbow. But here's my biggest problem with the elbow. That's your bend there on the left arm. That's it. That's it. So straight down and then hinged. Not a whole lot of motion in that arm. You're going to get the same thing on the right. That's all the bend on that elbow. So that is a little disappointing. We have an ab crunch, so he can crunch forward that much. Not a whole lot on that either. Going back, you can do back a little bit, so that's not too bad. There is a waist swivel in there, so you can move him around. Legs go out that far apart, which is not a whole lot. He can kick forward that much. This piece does hinder that a little bit. You kind of have to force it up, but it does bend with it a little bit, so he can kick forward that much. Get it to go. You can get it to kind of come out a little bit as well. There is the upper thigh cut there. You get a double jointed knee, which gives you that much bend at the knee. There is no boot swivel, so you just have the swivel at the thigh. You have a foot that hinges that far down. Up a little bit, not a whole lot. You have ankle pivot and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So decent articulation, I guess. It is pretty limited to what we normally see, but usually with these larger characters, they don't get a whole lot, and Thanos is no exception. Okay, so we've gotten quite a few deluxe releases this year in terms of larger figures. So there is the Thanos next to the Age of Apocalypse, and you can see Apocalypse is bigger. For those wondering if they did use some of the same parts, they did not. So Thanos is 100% unique sculpt. They do not share any pieces whatsoever, but you can see Apocalypse is still taller than Thanos, but Thanos has the much wider feet, so those boots are not the same. So we'll get Apocalypse out the way. Here is Thanos next to the Marvel Legends Target exclusive Red Hulk, and Hulk just really towers over him, so much so that I cut off Hulk's head there. So you can see major size difference between them two. And then we also had another one besides this one, but here is the Venom Deluxe figure as he's kind of hunched over. We also got the Toxin figure this year, but that is the same body as this one, so I didn't bother bringing that one out. And you can see there, Venom is actually about the same height if you don't really hunch him down, so he's going to stand taller. So even though Thanos is quite large, compared to some of these other larger deluxe releases that we got this year, he is not quite as big as some of those other ones, but there are those size comparisons. Now let's see how he looks next to some other Thanos figures, the previous Build-A-Figure and the Walmart exclusive re-release. It's amazing the difference that paint can make between the previous Build-A-Figure and the Walmart exclusive Thanos figure. They are the same exact figure, but you can see the updated paint apps and how it came out looking. Now this Thanos is a much more classic looking. I know a lot of you guys have seen comments saying that it looks like my Marvel Select is getting replaced, because that Marvel Select figure had this classic look, but he was kind of a chunkier Thanos, right? That's always kind of the main critique that I've seen on that particular figure. So now I think this one will replace a lot of those figures in some folks' collections. But you guys let me know down in the comments below what you think. Unfortunately, I don't have that Marvel Select figure to do a comparison. But for me, I'm a Legends guy anyway, so it would win probably because of simple bias. But there are the three next to each other. Now, we also got the King Thanos head, which has been confirmed by, I think, Ryan Ting and Dwight Stahl to actually fit on the previous Thanos figure. Now, the question is, which figure would you put it on? Normally, you would probably say that one because the gold is going to match. But looking at images of King Thanos, I would almost say the darker blue would be the better one. But the gold definitely is going to clash. But let's try them both out. Oh yeah, the gold not matching is definitely a problem there, but you know, it does fit on there. Okay, so the King Thanos figure on the Walmart exclusive version of the Thanos is a much better fit because those gold colors match. So you could do something where you have the old King Thanos versus the younger Thanos, like so, and you can see they're actually about the same height. That's actually pretty interesting now, seeing it face to face. Actually, that the Walmart exclusive Thanos shoulders actually seem to come up a little bit higher. That's pretty interesting. I guess it's just the way it's. I don't know what it is looking at them side by side. Maybe because, you know, the new Thanos figure has the thicker thighs. I guess it makes him kind of a larger figure. Torso width is about the same. Height is similar. But, you know, the arms and legs are much bigger, and I guess that's the big difference maker. Now, the King Thanos, looking at images and stuff, no suit actually is going to be an exact match between the two, so it's just one of those where you just kind of have to fudge the way it looks and just accept that this would be like your King Thanos, and is not completely accurate to the story or anything. Now, let's see if this head actually fits the new one. It just seems like that was the plan, was to use the old one. Yeah, see, the head doesn't really fit on there properly. You can place it on there, but it doesn't snap on there because that ball peg is actually a lot larger. So it looks like it's actually made specifically for that Walmart exclusive, but you could just kind of force it down a little bit. It doesn't quite stick on there, but it actually could work if that's what you wanted to do. Okay, and here's a quick side-by-side comparison for you guys. We have King Thanos next to the Cosmic Ghost Rider because they are part of the same storyline. You know, if only this Thanos figure can actually sit on some kind of throne. I know a lot of folks have 3D printed thrones that they could use, and then you can actually kind of recreate some of the different artwork of King Thanos with Cosmic Ghost Rider, but unfortunately this figure just can't actually do that. Now, with that being said, this Thanos figure is kind of difficult to get into a seating pose. Also, now I don't have a throne of any kind, but I have this barrel that he can kind of sit on, but that's kind of the best that you can do, so that's why I guess we didn't get a throne, we just got a paper throne to kind of use as a backdrop and kind of fudge that he's sitting on it. I mean, I guess that could kind of work, right? Actually, that's not too bad. I'm sure a lot of folks are going to be talented enough to make some kind of clever edits and things like that to make it work, but it's kind of interesting, I guess. Okay, switching out the hands is easy enough. You can just kind of twist them and pop them out. One thing is that these pegs for the hands themselves are actually pretty shallow. They are not very long at all, but they sit in there nicely. No need to worry at all. Fits on there nice and snug like so. And they are hinged, so they have the standard horizontal hinge, so you can do things like that, or you can use the snapping one as well. Okay, so you guys let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this figure, my final thoughts on this figure. I am very happy with it. I get a much more classic looking Thanos. Now, I don't have the Marvel Select. I was never going to get the Marvel Select, never even considered, but I know a lot of you guys, that was kind of your go-to Thanos figure, and hopefully this one will kind of replace it. Deluxe figure being $30, it is what it is on the Marvel Legends series line. It's a larger figure than you would normally get in a $20 figure. It works, it's basically build-a-figure size, so that's kind of the standard thing of what Hasbro was doing, so I'm not even mad at it. The King Thanos head is definitely a nice touch. If only now we actually had an accurate figure to match the head sculpt. We don't. I guess it's not all that important, whereas the Thanos, the classic Thanos, would be, and you can kind of fudge it and it works well together, so it's a nice addition. So I'm very pleased with it. You guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this figure. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.